Can we talk about something for a minute? Have you noticed that 40 hit different? Not overnight, not all at once, but your attention span is not what it used to be. Little things seem to irritate you more than they used to, and you're more exhausted than you feel you should be. Sleep is not hitting the same. The things you've been doing for years just don't seem to be working anymore. And maybe you found yourself looking in the mirror and saying, when did this happen? Or maybe you found yourself asking, what is going on with me lately? If any of this sounds familiar, let's talk about it. Hey, Empress, welcome back to Chattin with Lex. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Alexis, and here on Chattin with Lex, we're having real conversations about health, wellness, confidence, longevity, and thriving in our 40s and beyond. If you've been following this series, then you already know that we're talking about the changes that take place during this season of life. And if you haven't watched the last two videos, go ahead and check them out after this one. They'll provide a lot of context for today's conversation. But today, I want to talk about something a little different. Not necessarily symptoms, not necessarily solutions. I want to talk about the realization that for many women, 40 just hits different. Not because we're getting older, not because we're falling apart, but because our body is experiencing changes that nobody really prepared us for. And the more conversations I have with women, the more I realize that we're all asking ourselves the same question. What's really going on with me lately? So let's talk about it. One of the reasons I think that it's so easy for women to miss what's taking place is because it's usually not one big thing. It's not like you woke up one morning and all of a sudden everything changed overnight. It's often a collection of little things. So your sleep may be different. You notice that your body temperature is not easily regulated. You notice your energy is depleted. You notice that your attention span is not what it used to be. Even your workouts are not giving you the results that you're used to. And because each change seems small on its own, it is so easy to dismiss it. You tell yourself that you're busy. You tell yourself that you're stressed. You tell yourself, I just need a vacation. You tell yourself, I'm just doing too much. And though some of those things may be true, what if there's actually more to the story? What if your body is actually trying to tell you something? And that's one of the things many of us women have been experiencing, but we did not know. Not one big change, a lot of little changes that started adding up. One of the biggest surprises for many women is that it's not always the physical changes that catch your attention first. Sometimes it's the mental and the emotional shifts, the things that are harder to explain. You may be recognizing that you need more quiet than usual. You also may be noticing that things that once felt manageable now have become more draining. You've also noticed that your energy is valuable and now you're becoming more intentional of where you spend it. You may even recognize that self-care is in fact needed and it's not selfish at all. Honestly, I don't think we talk about it enough because in this season of life, for many women, it's not just about the physical changes. It's about realizing what your mind, your body, and your spirit actually need. You see, the things you could push through in your 20s and 30s don't feel the same. Not because you're weak, not because you're incapable, but because your body is literally asking for something different. And sometimes the greatest challenge is learning to listen. Maybe recovery is taking a little longer. Maybe the scale is not moving as it once did. Maybe weight is showing up in places it never showed up before. Maybe you're doing all the same things you were once doing, but you're not getting the same results. And that can be overwhelming because no one really prepared you for it. Because it's not about what you see in the mirror. It's about feeling like your body is changing the rules on you without even telling you. And I think that's a conversation more women are having than we realize. One of the biggest things we're learning here is that our bodies are not working against us. They're in fact communicating with us. And that's an important distinction because it's easy to become overwhelmed when things start changing. We start to question ourselves and start feeling like we're failing or falling behind. But what if this season is not about pushing harder? What if this is not even a setback? It's in fact a shift. What if this is about paying closer attention? Paying attention to what our body needs, paying attention to what our mind needs, paying attention to what our energy needs. Many of us women are going through similar experiences. And there's something powerful about that when it comes to understanding that we're not alone. We're not imagining it. We're not failing. We're not lazy. We're navigating a season that many of us women were never fully prepared for. And the more we learn, the more we become empowered to make choices that work for us as opposed to constantly fighting against ourselves. So if there's one thing I want you to take from today's conversation, it's this. If you've noticed changes, if you've been asking yourself, what is going on with me lately? Or if you've noticed that some things just hit different in your 40s, you're not alone. And you're definitely not the only woman trying to navigate through it all. We're learning, we're adjusting, and we're recognizing that this is not about pushing through. We're listening to our bodies. So if you've enjoyed this conversation, go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what are some of the changes you experienced in your 40s, and make sure to subscribe because in next week's episode, we're going to talk about something that many women are going through but don't quite understand. Until next time, Empress, let's take this journey together. It's time to thrive. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.